My name is Gerald Githinji. I'm honored. It is actually my honor to join you here. Professor Ngige has said some of the things I would have liked to say about Africa, but I'll mention them in a speech. And I'd like to also recognize all those people who have made this possible. Thank you very much for your work. It's normally not easy to get a function like this. I'm also very impressed that we have 11 universities here, all of them with AYLF, and all of them with small groups that are working together to see how you can improve leadership in the country. So we have 11 out of 53 universities that are represented in AYLF. So 53 out of 72 universities in the country. So you see, AYLF is not only you, it is you and a lot of others. So you are not alone. And the reason AYLF exists is because a group of wazees who meet regularly a few times realize that now their time is going and whoever can be the leader is you. And I say Professor Ngige stole my thunder because he said that leadership is not going to start in the future. People are told we are leaders of the future when it was a time. You are leaders of today. And you're all showing by example your leadership. This is leadership, and I'm very happy about it. Today, when I was given a topic, we are here to explore the exciting realm of igniting new horizon for youth leadership. How do you explore the exciting leadership for youth? Last year, 2023, the world population grew by 75 million people. Are those 75 million people wazees or youth? They are counted in the under 30s, so they're youth. So the number of youth increased by 75 million. Young people are therefore at the center of today's great strategic possibilities, from rebuilding the global economy to creating sustainable environments. And you talked about the climate change. Africa, as you all know, is the fastest growing population with over 1.48 billion people. So if Africa was a country, it would have more people than China, it would have more people than India. But it doesn't end there. More than half the global population between now and 2050 is expected to occur in Africa. So in the next few years, Africa will produce more than half the growth. So then the population of the world is expected to be about 10.7 million. So between the current population of 8 billion to 10 is 2 billion. So no, it's 3.7 billion. So 2 billion more Africans are expected. So not only are we going to be a big proportion of the world, we're going to be very impactful. This dramatic growth has been driven by better health, better ways of thinking, and better leadership. But it goes without saying that Africa youth are vital to the future of the world. You are vital to the future of the world. So the questions of what language is the world going to be speaking is important. You need to think about it. You, however, need to be ready to take this overwhelming leadership challenge. Youth leadership is not going to be just about grooming future leaders, but also empowering the current leaders to shape the current world, the leaders to shape the current world. Today, I'm pleased I'm speaking to a team from top Kenyan universities. You therefore understand how the empowerment that comes from education. Education instills values. So when you asked earlier about what are your 3 values, it instills values such as integrity, empathy, and responsibility. Empathy is shown when you're helping those people who are not as well able as you. And responsibility is what we're talking about in leadership. These values develop ethical leadership that fosters trust and accountability. Education is also key to honing your ability to solve problems. Africa, the world has many problems. So education you get now enables you to solve those problems. And for those of you who say there are not jobs, if there are problems, there are people who are prepared to pay the people who solve those problems. If you have a problem, that need health, then somebody is ready to pay for you to solve those problems. So jobs are many. Education is precursor, gives you the ability to be creative. It also gives you the ability to be innovative, thinking out of the box, deciding what are the new areas that you need to work on. And integrity and creativity and innovation is key to good leadership. Leadership that has integrity, that can be able to solve problems for people, that is good leadership. Further, education helps students to become resilient by facing challenges and setbacks, which is important to navigating an environment that is uncertain. But education is not enough. This morning, I went for a meeting where Kenya Institute of Management has a lot of Kenyan managers, but I'm in the fellow of Kenya Institute of Management, and I'm also in the board of the executive committee. So we had an executive committee in the morning. Then after that, we had a conference. And in that conference, I met one of my mentors. I didn't even know he was going to be there. My mentor was called Ambassador Modaora. When we got the responsibility by a vote of Kiambu people to be deputy governor of Kiambu, one of the things we realized is we're going to set a government from scratch. And we don't have any experience. I didn't have any experience what to do. So I said, who is the best person to help me with this? And I managed to get Professor Modaora. And we had a few lunches, and he told me how a government is run, how you write government papers, how you have cabinet meetings, what are required in the cabinet meetings, and so on. So by the time the county government of Kiambu was starting, we hit the ground running. We were so fast that we were doing better than most of the countries. Those guys who were in health, remember people were coming from Nairobi, from Murang'a, to come to hospitals in Kiambu. And that was because we were ready. So what you need to do is to become ready, to know what your next thing is. So I'm also delighted to be a mentor in this youth mentorship program for AYLF. It aims at to inspire and equip young minds with the skills, knowledge, and mindset needed to excel as future leaders and entrepreneurs. The program is designed to empower young people to embrace innovation and take charge of their future. It aims at helping young leaders and entrepreneurs to achieve their goals for constructive social, economic change, as well as, where it is necessary, develop their political acumen. I am lucky. I got Kajim as my mentee, and he's well-driven, and he actually drives me. When I'm mentoring, he comes and tells me, what are we going to do next? Then he calls me, he said, we haven't talked for a long time, and he finds out what to do. So I would advise all of you to look for a mentor. A mentor unlocks your hidden potential. There's so much you know, but there's so much that you don't know. I recognize knowledge is knowing what you don't know. Because if you know that there's something you don't know, then you go out to look for it. But if you think you know it all, then you become Mr. Know-it-all. And how do you do with Mr. Know-it-all? They don't need to learn it from anybody. Your best revelation is knowing what you do not know. Mentorship and guidance from experienced leaders who can provide you with advice and perspective, will help you to convert your education to reality by bridging the gap between theory and applying it in practice to the real world. As young leaders, it is essential that you cultivate resilience and prepare yourself to navigate and overcome adversity, challenges, and setbacks. You will achieve resilience by, first of all, viewing challenges as opportunities for growth rather than insurmountable obstacles. Looking at challenges as opportunities for you to be actively engaged and self-employed. Developing perseverance and continue learning, never learn enough. Considering for supportive relationships in an environment where you feel safe to express your emotions and vulnerabilities. And resilience will also help you to look for peer support in networks where you can each lean on each other during difficult times. The best place to create these relationships is at university. I can assure you, Kenyan government does not employ more than 800,000 people. And if you go and you're looking for a job there, you might be lucky, but more likely not to get a job. So what do you need to think about now, today, at your university? If I were to start my own business, what would I do? First of all, who do I need? If I am doing engineering, maybe I need an accountant. Maybe I need a salesperson, a marketing person. Then you organize a small team now, today, of 4 or 5 people who, on the day of graduation, you have a clear identity of what you need to do. You go with an idea, this is what we want you to do, and then your resilience will help you to find ways of solving that problem. There is a young lady, graduate, who has a practice called Stella Physio. When she was in university, there was a golf tournament, and they called a few girls and said, look, come, you can be there. They must go and do massage for these people who are there when they have problems. So she did the massage, and then when she graduated, at 19, she started her own business of doing massage. She now has, you can Google it, Stella Physio. She has a number of outlets that do massage for sportsmen. Kenya is good at sports, so she does massages to those. She employs doctors. She employs doctors who now give people those advice. She not only employs doctors, but has realized the effort she does for massage can be used for small hospitals. So she started small hospitals where she can now be able to employ other, I'll call them real doctors for ordinary diseases, and they're growing. She's growing. She has been identified by NHIF as one of the recipients of NHIF funds. That means that those people who go there will be treated and should be paid directly by the government, NHIF. So that's an example. What you do as an accident, even when you didn't expect to do it, you should be ready and listening to what does it teach me? What can I use from there? And work on it to create some future. It is important as young people to manage yourself to be adaptable and flexible. If you did engineering and there are no engineering jobs, what else can I do? You need to be adaptable. Developing flexible thinking and adapting your plans when circumstances change. Looking for opportunities for exposure to diverse experiences and perspectives. For example, if you've not been out of the country, you may not be able to go to America immediately, but you can drive to Uganda. Get 5 buddies, drive to Uganda, go and see what is the life there. What makes them excited? Why do they have so many bananas? Drive to a bit further down to Tanzania.